Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is the second generation Jaeger-LeCoultre Master 8 Days Perpetual. The original one came out in the mid-2000s, and while it was a technological opus, it was a little bit inelegant aesthetically. This is the variant that came out in 2011, with a lot of elements brought over from the Master Ultra Thin series. It's a smaller, thinner, finer, and externally more beautiful watch. So in stainless steel, this is the Master 8 Days Perpetual 40. 40 millimeters is the diameter, 12.1 is the thickness, and then 47.1 is the lug-to-lug with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. On my wrist, which is 16 centimeters circumference, it wears beautifully. This watch would wear well on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. You can see how much clearance I've got on each side. No problems, no overlap whatsoever. Over the top, which always exaggerates the width of the watch, you can see the lugs are still well inboard. And it's a low-cut watch with a little bit of a taper and a slope to its bezel. So yeah, it will slide under a dress cuff. Rather than a dress watch, I describe this more as an all-arounder because it is robust and it's designed for daily use. The strap is very high quality. You can see gloss, slightly distressed grain, large rectangular scale alligator leather, symmetrical scales, an expensive cut of the animal, a rare cut from the belly of the beast, quite literally. Bolstering to give it volume, that's some stuffing to bulk up the strap with a monotone stitch. We've got a sheer cut edge lacquered for refinement, calfskin on the bottom, no crimping, no gouging, brand new JLC factory strap, and you can see it features JLC's latest pull-tab spring bars. You can pull the strap off the case without a tool. You just pull the tab and it pops right off. Double folding clasp. You can see this is the JLC clasp design that was launched in 2006. That was when they went from single fold to double fold. It's friction fit, so snap shut, double fold, and provides some insurance against accidentally dropping your watch while donning or removing it. Taking a look at the case, I mentioned we have a more graceful case here. So tapered lugs with a little bit of a soft bevel on their end, a thinner case band, a bezel that's stepped in from the case band, and then has a very shallow profile as it slopes up towards the cambered crystal. Pusher adjuster, just one for the calendar system. This is the IWC Kurt Klaus system, and so you push this and everything adjusts in sync. The day, the date, the month, the moon phase, even the year and the decade adjust automatically. So if you fall 5 days behind, you just wind it up, set the time, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and everything moves back into sync. You don't need to look up the current phase of the moon. We do have a little combination of a year, a decade, a century, and a millennium. The year and the decade operate automatically. The other ones have to be manually reset, but it'll be centuries until that's necessary, or at least century. It's a beautifully balanced dial. Aside from the display of the years, this has really perfect bilateral symmetry, so you can split it side to side and it's mirrored. We have a coaxial display of the moon phase. It's a 122-year correction interval for the moon phase. The perpetual calendar doesn't need to be touched until the year 2100. Power reserve indicator up at the top, although it is a 8-day power reserve, it only takes 55 to 60 turns to fully energize it. You can see as I wind, it moves very, very quickly, so you don't have to turn it hundreds of times like you do with other high power reserve watches. It is 55 to 60, and I actually counted and tested. What I'll also say is that those of us in the JLC community have tested the theory of this 8-day movement, and it is truly 8 days chronometric. So for 8 days, it will keep best time. Beyond that, it will still run, but it will start losing time. How long till it actually stops? Almost 10 days through these twin manually wound mainspring barrels. You can also see that there is a danger zone indicator. So with the perpetual calendar system, there are hours of the day when you don't want to use this little corrector to change the calendar. And when you see inside that aperture that it has begun to turn color, then you'll know you are entering the danger zone. The danger zone, see how that just changed over right there? It came and it went. And once it's gone, once it's absent from the aperture, you can safely use the pusher corrector to set the time. If you're in a zone where the danger index is visible, just advance beyond it and then set the calendar. Also worth mentioning, you can see these are all downwardly stepped sub-registers where we've got an azurage or concentric pattern and then a little silver cabochon. So we have January, February, March, April. So we've got our months alternating. We've got our dates alternating, where the even dates are little dots and the odds are numbers. And then we've got our coaxial display of days and moon phase. Okay, turning around, by the way, let's first look at the dial side. Lovely extended Dauphine-style hands. Dauphine hands often come across as heavy and inelegant, whereas here, by making them long and needle-like, grace is added. You can also see that they're half frosted to improve the contrast against the dial, and that we have applique faceted indices for the hours, so a high-grade applique dial, and then it is a silver sunburst metallic radiating out from the center. 50 meters water resistant, probably more than you expect on a watch like this. It's still a push-down crown. I still don't recommend you swim with it, but as a dress adjacent watch, we could call it, it's nice to have more than the dress watch standard of 30 meters. This is 5. A little note about the Master 1000 Hours control. Introduced on what was then called the Master Grand Tie in 1992. It was one of the first in-house standards that went beyond the COSC. So yes, there is a 6-position chronometry test, but as a fully cased watch, also including power reserve, shock resistance, water resistance, durability. It's a 41.6-day test as a fully assembled watch, not a bare movement like the COSC, so this goes above and beyond. Taking a look at the movement, you can see that this is round, but it's actually descended from the rectangular caliber created for the Septentième, which was the 70th anniversary reverso. That had a rectangular version of this movement. This one's round to better suit a round watch. You'll also note that there's a version of this movement in some of the Panerai Radomir 8-day watches like the PAM 190, 197, and 198. We have 2 barrels. You can see that it's a 37 joule movement and then it operates at 4 hertz. How do we know that? Because it tells us. Okay, not necessary, but good to know. You can see that it has twin mainspring barrels and that it has Côte de Soleil, so a sunburst striping rather than Côte de Genève, radiating out from an imaginary center point atop that free sprung balance. As you can see, it does not feature a hacking function, but the adjustments are done with masses on the balance that move in pairs in and out. So it's a very shock resistant and precise system. You can see engine turning on the base plate. You'll also note there's a combination of engine turning on the base plate, solarization or sunburst, I should say, Côte de Genève across the bridges. Taking a look, we do have a very muted machine-applied bevel, although it is there, as well as beveling in the jewel and screw sinks, and fired blue screws. There's satination on the wheels, and you can see satination on the stud holder with KIF shock protection. A lovely watch and one of JLC's best. The reason JLC doesn't use the crown-based setting system that IWC uses with the Kurt Klaus Perpetual calendar is that JLC found people would attempt to wind the watch or set the watch, and when trying to set the time or wind the watch, they would actually advance this system days or weeks or months past the current date. And because it's a unidirectional system, they would then have to let their watch sit for umpteen days. So JLC thought it was safer to separate the setting functions of the calendar from the winding and setting functions of the crown, and so that's why it does things a little bit differently than IWC. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.